Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for everything that goes bump in the dark and the place where your chilling encounters come to life. Tonight, we bring you a first-hand account that will leave you questioning the line between legend and reality. This story comes from Austin, and it's titled The Ravenel Light Encounter. But before we dive into the eerie unknown, I have something special for all you night shifters and time travelers. If you love supernatural mysteries and time-bending adventures, head over to paranormalnightshift.com to claim your free copy of the first ebook in the Dimensional Desperado series, The Birth of Dimensional Desperado. It's a tale of ghostly relics, time-traveling outlaws, and the dark forces that lurk beyond the veil. Download it now and uncover the legend from the very beginning. Now, turn down the lights, open your mind, and prepare yourself. Because this story, it's not just a tale, it's an encounter. It's one of those stories you grow up hearing but never give much thought to. The kind that's whispered around campfires or swapped during sleepovers when the goal is to scare someone stiff. The legend of the Ravenel Light in South Carolina was just that to me, a legend. I'd heard about the priest and his daughter, the tragic accident, and the supposed ghostly lanterns swinging through the darkness. However, I always chalked it up to overactive imaginations or bored locals looking for a thrill. That all changed one unforgettable night. The legend itself is straightforward. Back in the early 1800s, a priest lived at a small church in Ravenel with his young daughter. One day she disappeared while playing outside the church. Desperate to find her, the priest grabbed a lantern and searched along the nearby train tracks. But fate had other plans. Under the pitch-black sky, sometime after midnight, the priest was struck by an oncoming train. They say he never found his daughter, and his spirit has been searching for her ever since. The story goes that if you go to the church and see the cross behind it lit, you can summon the priest's ghost by turning your car headlights on and off 3 times, the last time leaving them off. Then you drive slowly down the road, and the lantern will appear, swinging back and forth, guiding or warning you. My dad and grandmother swore it wasn't just a story growing up. They claimed they had experienced it firsthand. Years before I was born, they visited the spot with my great-aunt one night. As they drove down the road, a flaming cross appeared behind their car, chasing them down the stretch of dark pavement. It missed them, but it followed them relentlessly until it finally disappeared. I laughed off the story as a kid. It sounded ridiculous, but that didn't stop my dad from insisting it was true. When I was older, he decided it was time for me to see for myself. I remember the night like it just happened. The air was heavy and humid. In that way, only the South could be. Crickets chirped in the background, but it was eerily quiet as we pulled up to the church. The building was dilapidated, abandoned long ago, and the cross in the back loomed ominously. I tried to play it cool, cracking jokes about how they'd rigged something up to scare me, but my nerves started showing. "All right," Dad said, his voice calm but firm. "Let's see what happens." He turned the car headlights on and off once, twice, 3 times. The final time, he left them off. Then we started creeping forward, the car crawling at a snail's pace down the narrow, dark road. At first, nothing happened. I was just about to make a witty remark when I saw a faint light in the distance. "Do you see that?" I whispered, my heart pounding. It was unmistakable, a lantern swinging slowly back and forth across the road ahead. My dad didn't answer. He just kept driving, his eyes locked on the light. The closer we got, the clearer it became. It wasn't just one lantern. Multiple lights swayed in the darkness, bobbing in and out of view like restless spirits. I whipped my head around to check behind us and felt my stomach drop. There, in the distance, more lanterns were swaying. They weren't close enough for me to make out who or what was holding them, but they were moving toward us, matching our speed. "Dad, what the hell is this?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Still, he didn't respond. His hands gripped the wheel tightly, his knuckles white. And then it happened. Behind us, a massive cross erupted in flames, lighting the night like a fiery beacon. It was impossibly bright, chasing us with an intensity that made my chest tighten. My dad slammed on the gas, but the car didn't respond. "Come on," he muttered, twisting the key in the ignition as the engine sputtered and died. We were sitting ducks. The fiery cross grew closer and closer until it loomed just behind us, filling the entire rearview mirror with a blaze of orange and red. My dad and I sat frozen, unsure of what to do. I could feel the heat, even through the closed windows, but strangely, it didn't burn. It didn't harm us at all. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it was gone. The car roared back to life without warning, the engine purring like nothing had happened. My dad threw it into gear and we sped down the road, leaving the church, and whatever that was, far behind. I didn't say a word the entire drive home. Neither did he. To this day, I don't know what I saw that night. I've been back a few times since, always out of some strange compulsion to prove to myself that it was just a trick of the mind. Sometimes nothing happens. Other times the lanterns appear faint and distant, reminding me that the past is never gone. I'll never laugh off ghost stories again. Some things can't be explained, and I'm okay with that. But if you're brave or foolish enough to go, I'll give you this advice. Make sure your car is in good shape and don't go alone. You never know what you might find waiting for you on that dark, lonely road. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of tonight's journey. Austin, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's been a wild ride. If you enjoyed this episode and want to support the show, consider joining us over on Patreon. Not only will you get an ad-free listening experience, but you'll also get to hear new episodes a week early. Plus, all Patreon members get exclusive access to every future journey in the Dimensional Desperado ebook series. If Patreon isn't your thing, no worries. You can still support us by subscribing to the Paranormal Nightshift podcast on Spotify and YouTube. And while you're there, drop us a comment and let us know what you thought about this episode. We love hearing from you. And before you go, don't forget to grab your free copy of the first ebook in the Dimensional Desperado series, The Birth of Dimensional Desperado. Just head over to paranormalnightshift.com and claim your copy today. With that being said, if you have a paranormal story you'd like to submit, you can do that right here on Paranormal Nightshift. We'd love to hear it. Until next time, stay curious and keep your eyes on the shadows.